Oh, hello. It seems we have a guest. Whatever can I do for you, stranger? Oh, you're curious about my little world down there. I guess I can tell you a little about it. Let's start with its people. They shape the world down there almost as much as I do. Let's see. This one will do. A literary genius. This little raven is truly more than she seems. Name, Robin Lancaster. Race, raven beastkin. Sex, female. Age, 16. Height, short. Shape, toned thick. Magic class, none. Occupation, Lancaster bookstore. Clerk organizer of books. Affiliation, book club. Occult club. Family, Norman Lancaster. Adoptive father. Relationships, Jack Windsor, boyfriend. Bartholomew Sepia, best friend. Angela Mills, young protege. Theodore Shire, friend confidant. Overview. Robin Lancaster is a raven beastkin from Primeverse 2. She spends most of her life and time at Lancaster Books. She prefers the quiet ambience of the store over the hustle and bustle of city life. She may have, in a way, inherited this from her adoptive father, who has always found contentment in solitude and literature. Since she was raised around books, reading is her passion. After meeting more people, she began to occasionally travel beyond the store, finding herself tangled up in the chaos of their lives. Background: early life. Even before Robin was born, her story was in the making. Tragedy struck while she was still in her egg. Her father, a raven acting as one of Silent Owl's messengers, was killed on the way to one of their bases. This devastated her mother, who tried her best to care for the little egg despite her failing health. She was diagnosed at Moonlit Grace Hospital with a magical illness called statue syndrome. This meant her mind and body were degrading, and she would soon be unable to function without direct interaction. Knowing her mind would be the first to go, she called upon her old college professor, Norman Lancaster, a human mage. He traveled from the city of Fairsilver to Lorwick, where she tearfully begged him to raise Robin, as she no longer could. Norman was hesitant at first, admitting his lack of experience with children. She pleaded with him to raise Robin as he used to teach her class. He reluctantly agreed. After hatching, Robin was raised amongst the towering shelves and quiet corners of Lancaster Books, often left to her own devices. She became a quiet and withdrawn child, preferring the company of books to social interaction. Worried he might have stunted the young beastkin's development, Norman began to involve her in the store's operations, having her help at the counter and organize the shelves. It was while performing the latter task that she met Jack Windsor. Meeting Jack when Robin was 8, she was flitting about the store, putting books away. When a young boy waved to her, Robin landed, cautiously assessing the boy from afar. He was a hybrid of human and an underland-based race called a white rabbit. As she approached, the boy positively exploded with questions about her, the shop, and a multitude of other things. Robin felt overwhelmed and considered making a quick escape. However, the boy had a secret. He was psychic. Sensing her discomfort, he suppressed his inquisitive white rabbit side and apologized, introducing himself as Jack Windsor. Robin found Jack to be quite charming and was touched by his efforts to put her at ease. She invited him to sit with her in one of the store's cozy nooks, and he graciously accepted. Time flew by as the two talked for hours. Robin didn't think she had ever spoken so much, especially since her father was a man of few words. To her surprise, Jack asked if he could visit her again. After a moment's thought, she agreed. This laid the foundation for what would later blossom into a simple, unspoken relationship. School and Bartholomew. As years passed, Jack encouraged Robin to attend the local school instead of continuing her online education. She eventually relented. During a class assignment when Robin was 12, she found herself in the school library seeking resources beyond the familiar confines of her father's shop. There, she met Bartholomew Sepia, the leader of the ghoul group, residing above the library. His intellectual nature surprised her, and the two bonded over their shared love of books and new knowledge. Discovering her mother at the age of 13, Robin finally asked her father about her original family. Norman told her the truth, despite the pain it might cause. Robin asked if she could see her mother, and her father provided the address of the care facility where her mother resided. However, he warned her that her mother was no longer herself, and that seeing her might only cause Robin more pain. Robin took the address and promised to consider it. Weeks later, while working at the counter and lost in thought, she encountered Theodore Shire. The boy was researching RHS, or rabbit hole syndrome, a sickness that slowly transforms the afflicted into a lesser version of one of the ocean-bound races. Robin inquired why, and Theo admitted to a recent diagnosis. This reminded Robin of her mother, alone and uncomforted as her mind deteriorated. The thought brought tears to her eyes. Always eager to help, Theo asked what was wrong, and she confided in him. Robin recounted the entire story her father had told her. Theo reassured her and encouraged her to visit her mother, even if she was no longer fully present. He compared it to his own regret of not having met his mother before her tragic death. Robin asked Theo to accompany her, and he agreed. Along with Jack, they drove to Green Acres a week later. Her mother's condition was shocking. She was barely responsive, only able to communicate in short, direct sentences. Robin was understandably shaken. To comfort her, Theo inquired with the staff if her mother had kept a journal, noting that such practices were common in therapy. This proved to be the case, and Theo asked if they could have it. They made a copy for him, which he then gave to Robin. This provided insight into her mother's thoughts and feelings. She learned that her mother had been highly intelligent, just like herself. The journal brought her closer to the mother she never knew. From that day forward, Robin vowed to become as elegant, refined, and intelligent as her mother had once been. Mentorship. A year or so later, Theo came into the shop with a young Queen of Hearts, a much darker variant of the Underland-born Red Queen. Robin was uneasy, not only because the girl was likely very powerful, but also because she didn't usually get along with children. Theo reassured her that Angela was quite mature for her age. The girl proceeded to prove this by curtsying and introducing herself as Angela Mills. Robin was skeptical at first, but the girl's ability to keep up with her and Theo's intellectual discussions impressed her. Angela politely requested to become her protege, and after some hesitation, Robin agreed. She proceeded to teach Angela about the arts, both light and dark, emphasizing the importance of balance. To Robin's surprise, Angela absorbed every subject like a sponge. Present day, Robin still spends much of her time at Lancaster Books, occasionally going for walks with Jack or playing games with him. She also sometimes visits Theo's house to help him with science projects. Personality. Robin's upbringing has instilled in her a cautious and somewhat cynical view of the world. She often finds people taxing and annoying, though this softens somewhat after she meets Jack. However, she still struggles with social interaction. She is very shy and tends to withdraw when overwhelmed, but both Jack and Theo have found ways to help her overcome her shyness. She can be quite serious, preferring blunt truths to more delicate lies. This can make her seem unapproachable, but in reality, she is quite open-minded. She is willing to engage with anyone, regardless of race or beliefs, as long as they are civil and respectful. She is also quite creative. When she is not reading, she can be found writing Gothic poetry, which she shares with Jack and Theo. She has even inspired Angela to write some poetry herself. Appearance. Robin's midnight red feathers are tipped with black. Her sharp, heliotrope eyes allow her to read quickly and give her a keen eye for detail, which she expresses in her poetry. She prefers Gothic attire, but occasionally makes exceptions when attending tea parties with Jack. For the sake of tradition, only Jack, due to his telepathic abilities, knows that she secretly enjoys dressing up for him. Abilities. Quick flight. Years of catching falling books have given Robin exceptional reflexes, allowing her to take off and land with impressive agility. This comes in handy when navigating the crowded bookstore or when she needs to make a quick escape from a conversation. Keen sight. Her lifelong engagement with literature has honed her vision. She can see considerable distances and often notices details that others miss. This has proven useful in spotting misplaced books in the store and observing subtle cues in her friends' expressions. Genius intellect. Robin has diligently studied to cultivate her intellect, striving to match her mother's. She can quickly analyze situations and devise both intellectual and creative solutions. She often points out flaws in plans to ensure her friend's safety and has a knack for solving complex puzzles and riddles. Well, that's it for darling Robin. Her star may not shine as bright as some, but her wisdom and peace is certainly worth seeking out. Good for you. She's so easy to find. Till next time, stay curious and please come again anytime. There's still so many people for me to share with you.